Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the number one collaborative podcast in all of professional wrestling. To my immediate right, your left, is the one and only Conrad Cushman, representing Everything Pro Wrestling. Me, right here, to your right, is the one and only Sean Hubbard, representing Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. And we collectively are Clash of the Podcast. I am really excited for tonight's show. We're going to talk about Jade Cargill and her perspectives going into WWE. We're going to review WrestleDream that took place last night. Spoiler, I really like the show. I know you guys are surprised. There's so much stuff to talk about. And honestly, I see people in the chat already. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. People are streaming in. Appreciate the love. Conrad's in the building. Sean is in the building. You're in the building. So there's only two things left to say. It's a different world from where we come from. And Conrad, drop that thing.
Wrestling fans, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in a limousine. I could probably do the whole verse because I did it once for a college course, but I won't.
On my wall every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic Marley Marl.
Yeah, until M caught him in recent times, but we won't get into that. But yes. This is Clash of the Podcast. This is episode 57. This is titled WrestleDreams. All right. I like this one because it gets into more than just the name of the AEW pay-per-view that was yesterday. Let's give the shouts and then let's get into it because there's going to be a lot to talk about. This is going to be a very, very opinionated episode, and you guys can thank Sean for the structure of it because he came to me, I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday, the weekend just blurs for me, with this idea of how to present the show this week, and it was beautiful. Like, I loved how he laid it out and structured it, so we're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. So strap in with your opinions and get ready. Doug, first one in here, only 40 minutes until our favorite part of Monday, Clash of the Podcast. Kyron and Sean, what do you have in store for us tonight? Strap up, you're gonna find out.
Quilly!
Oh, you can take that one, Sean. We can share these.
In the building. What up, my G? What's up, Conrad, Sean, and chat? Sir Quills is back to enjoy another fire episode of Clash of the Podcast, episode 57, the classic Bart Scott. I like that. I like that a lot. In addition, let's get into it. Can't wait. I think I said that right. Can't wait.
Ray Thompson, great weekend of wrestling. Really enjoyed SmackDown, No Mercy, and WrestleDream.
Wow. Okay, what's up, Ray? Welcome. And by the way, what a beautiful, I haven't been able to say this before. I should have said it a long time. What a beautiful family in that photo that I'm looking at. What a beautiful family. God bless you and yours, man. Awesome.
Shout out to Ray, man. Ray's always showing love, so we appreciate you, Ray. Dragunov versus Mello and Swerve and Hangman were my matches of the weekend.
Hard to argue with that.
B-Boy Skyline comes in and says, you think you know him. We'll get into that. Gomar saying, yo, what up?
What up, no?
Pro Wrestling Shoot in the house saying you. Pro Wrestling Shoot was at the show.
P.W. Sheezy.
They were at the show. They were coming in live, man, with they have some video footage and everything.
That's what's up, man.
They went to Collision and WrestleDream.
I'm not mad at them. That's what's up.
BJ in the house. Me and BJ were talking in the DMs earlier. What up, everyone? Jam-packed weekend of wrestling about to be followed up with the delicacy known as Clash of the Podcast. Everyone is doing well.
B Jizzle, that was fire. I like that. Delicacy. I like that.
Mr. Anthony Slate says, what up? Appreciate you. Look at Doug checked right back in. He's on it. Appreciate you, Doug. So you think you know me? Everybody's got jokes today. Vinny, hey, y'all. God bless. All love as always. Vinny, right back at you.
God bless you. God bless you as well.
Appreciate you. And on this day, I see clearly.
Everybody's in their bag about this Edge situation.
Jocelyn in the house. It's Monday. We got Conrad. We got Sean Hubbard. The chat is chatting. Today is a good day.
Yo, Jocelyn, salute you, queen. Salute.
Joel in the house.
So love the Canelo Charlo show last week. Hope you're feeling better, Conrad. That's a fact. Let me run with that. Thank you for bringing that up, Joel. Big shout out to Joel Arkin. Appreciate you, my G. Big shout out to the brother Conrad for coming out and doing Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, a special edition of Clash of the Podcast on the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel as we previewed Charlo versus Canelo. And I'm going to go on record. First of all, dude was under the weather and still came through like a champion. And secondly, dude went 4 for 4 in his predictions for the fights. I thought it was 4 for 4. Am I wrong?
I was cheated in that Lubin fight. Cheated.
Oh, that's right. Because Lubin lost, but he really won. Okay.
Because I messaged you complaining.
Yes.
And whoever judged that fight, I don't ever want them holding a pencil or a scorecard again in boxing.
I feel you. Okay, so let me rephrase. Conrad should have gone 4 for 4. For anybody who watched the Canelo and Charlo pay-per-view, by the way, you could get it on replay on Fight if you want to. Yo, this guy named Lubin, former world caliber fighter, and now he's still in the mix because of a ridiculous decision. But anyway, big shout out to you, Conrad, my brother, for showing up injured, and still pulling up for you, boy. I appreciate you.
All good, man. Make sure you guys go back and leave a like. Check that out. Sean, that video did pretty good for Sean, so make sure you guys show some love. Pause the media scrum before I finish the pay-per-view and what NXT put out. Look at Joel, best duel in the game. I appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Pro Wrestler Shoot, when I tell you I cried, nearly wept how happy I was to see that. No, he told me that earlier. I'm believing him.
It's hard not to get emotional. I mean, that was a crazy situation that took place Sunday night.
Ray, thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Matt Lopez. Good evening.
No. You know better than that, Conrad. Oh, my goodness. What's going on with you?
No, hold on. We're going to kick it to you. Good evening. All the best podcasts to start off the week. Matt Lopez, a.k.a.
There we go.
BKA.
Leezy Fo Sheezy in the building.
Man. Sean messing up my bit, man.
Oh my God!
He was ready to stop.
Like that was a setup, but it was a very vague.
He was bouncer at the club, bro. He was like, "Hold on, what you
when I set you up, it's a nice, easy volley. You can't be spiking it and expect me. Come on, bro. You're setting me up.
Get ready for them spikes, baby. By the way, shout out to that Bills Dolphins game. I don't hear no phone calls when we winning. I just want people to remember that.
I had a bad night predicting boxing, but I was right on the money. Those Buffalo Bills, that loss to the Jets was a fluke. You guys are going to be back in the AFC Championship game.
I hope so. We did get an injury though to my man Trey White.
Yeah, I heard.
Worried a little bit. Look at that. Chat's talking. I ain't gonna get into it. He was cheated. See, Joel. You know.
You were, bro. You were.
I did join for a little bit on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly on Thursday. Not a big boxing guy, but for you guys, you seem to know your stuff.
Doug, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Look at who's in the building. He was at NXT No Mercy, DJ B Tazzy. He hosts parties all the time. You guys can check out his wonderful YouTube page. I'm giving you some free promotion here, Tazzy. And he hosts like watch-alongs with the show. So if you're ever bored, want to watch Raw with some peeps, Tazzy's got you covered. He's also on the Insiders channel. They cover Impact Wrestling. They do a watch along with them. I used to pop up on there very often till my Thursdays got very busy. But show Tazzy some love. Show them some love. Cue Ron Simmons on that Bills game. Nah, we don't need no Ron Simmons, baby. We coming in. Connor, the two goats. Oh, I had to look and see what that was at first. Two goats of podcasting. Connor, I appreciate you. Don't make a black man blush over here, all right?
Yeah, man, for real. And Conrad blushes a lot easier than I do.
I'm gonna let you slide with that one.
It's the truth.
Sean, let's get into let's get into AEW's WrestleDream. It was Sunday, October 1st. It was in the Climate Pledge Arena. They sold some extra tickets in here. They filled it out a lot better than we thought they would.
Thank goodness.
They had to, right? Like, come on.
For real.
They had a heck of a card for us. The pre-show was loaded. It was like an hour and a half, and they put a lot of matches on there.
They went in. They really wanted to make this show special.
Yeah, and I feel like when someone always asks, like, what is AEW's, like, big show? I guess it's whatever the stadium show is, but I give them credit. There's really no pay-per-view where you're like, this is definitely bigger than this, and this is bigger than that. I don't think they really try to do that. They go, we need $50 from these people. We got to put on. That's why I like the pay-per-view model, because you have to show up. You cannot just put on garbage and then people, here, give me $80. No, I'm not doing that. So,
no. Right fast. I gotta get this in real quick. That's what she said. Big shout out to my guy
Derek, always late. What up, D? Gotta put the blame on him somewhere, man. Has he all good? WrestleDream was a great show.
You know the thing about it, M. Leezy and Conrad, I've been very critical, and I will continue to be, because that's just who I am. WrestleDream was a major success. I mean, they did well. AEW got back to basics last night. I was very impressed.
I have good things to say.
Yep.
I have good things to say. I'm going to have some things that might make some people mad too, but we'll see. We'll see if we get into those things. Okay. No, nothing bad, but just people need to watch themselves and the things they say sometimes. Pay-per-view poster had it all. There were a lot of matches that were interesting into this one. Sean, anyone that you want to talk about real quick, get into? I know what you all want to talk about. We're going to get to that. But any matches that you particularly wanted to get into?
I mean, we have to definitely put the highlight on Swerve Strickland versus Adam Page. I really think that was the match of the night as it relates to not in-ring match of the night, the match of the night as it pertains to importance and direction of storytelling and trajectory as far as career trajectory. You can't have Swerve lose that match. You just could not have him lose that match. And thankfully, they did the right thing. Typically, AEW does do the right thing. They've had some blunders, as we know, especially over the last couple of months. They needed a night like last night, and they came through. Swerve Strickland, to me, that victory puts him right in line for championship contention, whether it be the international or the World Heavyweight Championship. So I'm thrilled. And I really hope that they don't do what WWE would do. Yes, I said it, what WWE would do, which is take a great thing like the dynamic between Swerve and Prince Nana and say, you know what, well, since we want Swerve to be a heel and everybody's enjoying the Prince Nana dance, let's figure out how we can get Swerve to punch Prince Nana in the face. No, don't. What are you doing? I like it, Conrad.
I was adding a little bit to the when I swerve, when I drive, when I swerve, when I drive. I was feeling it, man. They had Seattle going nuts for this song.
My thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. WWE is notorious for that. I'm not going to turn this into a WWE bash, but WWE is notorious for that. You don't have to, because I've been seeing some rumblings about this online. You don't have to break up Swerve and Prince Nana. Because Swerve is a heel and because Prince Nana is getting face reactions for the dance, you don't have to break them up, So that's all I have to say.
Let Nana have fun with the song, and then once the song's over, it's business time.
Exactly.
That's all it has to be.
Yeah.
I think they have a great thing here. Hangman did not need this win. I'm going to make a bold prediction now, though. Mark it down that Mr. Cushman said this. Hangman Adam Page in the next year will be a heel. Calling it now, and I think that's what's going to end up happening with them. Okay. A match that I wanted to highlight, and I know some people in the chat were talking about Julia and Chris Statlander. I'll say this, and I don't want to challenge Sean on air right now for this, but I'll say this about Julia.
Challenge me on air. I don't like her.
No, I'm talking about Julia Hart is who I want to praise real quick. Julia Hart, I think, has really stepped it up since the days of her being in the what were they called? Were they the Varsity Blondes? I don't remember. I don't like varsity gimmicks in wrestling, like the leather jacket and all that stuff. I'm like, bro, you've been holding on to this. What are you, Al Bundy? Like, what is this? Yeah. But when they do that, whatever. whatever. They tried to do it. Cheerleader, she got sprayed in the face, and now she's with the House of Black. She works with them. And I think her wrestling ability has improved tremendously in the last year. I've been saying that about Sky Blue. They're building themselves a nice women's division here. If they keep piling up with these folks and saying, like, listen, this is what we're doing. This is what we're trying to make moves and make happen. It's going to be interesting. I like it. I thought Statlander could have dropped it here if they wanted to do that, but they didn't. So,
I mean, can I just go there?
Go there.
Yo, Chris Statlander is so overrated, bro. She is so overrated. Julia Hart, I was cheering for her so much last night. And I'm only thinking about this being a possibility because of way back when the tag team championship match with Swerve defending against, oh my God, help me out, the Acclaim, when they were talking about how the match maybe should have been changed in the middle, but it wasn't. They ended up losing it later at Grand Slam last year. If there was ever a time to change the outcome mid-match, I would have been sending in a signal and changing it up, because Chris Statlander is, bro, I don't see it, man. I don't know what people see in this girl. I mean, she's corny.
Is your issue the gimmick, the character?
Yes, I mean, she's a tremendous athlete. I could never complain about her athleticism.
I think that it could use some more fleshing out, like as far as what does more than a woman mean and all that stuff. Like, I get what they're saying, but they were trying to get away from the alien gimmick because I think they felt it was too what's the word I'm looking for, like cartoony. Mm-hmm. They were trying to like get away from that, but then they didn't really know what this gimmick was going to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they put some more behind her, because I like Statlander. I think she's got a lot of potential too. The key is, can she hold up in the ring? She has dealt with a lot of injuries, but right now she's crushing it, and I say you ride with it.
And I want to be fair. She's a top-tier athlete, but her character needs a heck of a lot of work.
Fair. Look, they were honoring Inoki with his grandkids. They did have them in the ring as well. Christian at the media scrum with that awkward, their grandfather passed away, right? I was like, Christian. It was just quiet for a minute. He was like, yeah, sad thing. He was full heel all the way till the end.
Christian has made it his mission to be the number one heel in the company.
You know how you know that, Sean?
Go ahead.
Where's his merch? He ain't got none because he don't want you to have it.
Right.
He wants to be booed.
But I wouldn't be surprised if people start wearing turtlenecks.
You can. He ain't getting paid for it.
Yeah.
He knows. Christian is good, man.
He is.
Rob in the house, appreciate you, bro. Pro Wrestler Shoe said, whose house?
Swerve's
Swerve's house. I love it. BJ getting into that main event here. Let's ride through. I want to talk about this match too, because I had to go back and rewatch this one today.
Yeah, no doubt.
Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. I don't know if this was your cup of tea, Sean, but I like this one a lot. For some technical wrestling, these two are two of the best ever, I think, that I've watched. Lace up a pair of boots, go out there and just wrestle.
I loved it. I know I've made some complaints about boring matches. This was a boring match, but in the best possible way. And I know that sounds like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but you know what I mean. It wasn't a lot of flash and dash. It was wrestling. It was technical, and I loved it. And they both put on an epic performance in the world of profession. This was the sweet science to me. And it was, neither one, in my opinion, should be diminished. I mean, you're gonna give D. Bryan probably the win in his hometown, which is fine. But Zack Sabre Jr. is top tier. Bryan Danielson is top tier. I loved it.
He already challenged him to a rematch,
as he should.
But he said in Japan or England next time in my turf. And I was like, okay, all right, they're setting it up.
I'm not mad. Look, AEW should be going. First of all, AEW doing a pay-per-view in the Tokyo Dome, to me, makes sense. I don't know why that hasn't happened yet.
McKinney in the house, he said, so tired of the Japanese spirit of the fight spots. Is getting corny because it's done every week in every match. You're talking about the back and forth hitting, the I'll strike you, you strike me, hit me again, and all that stuff. I hear you. I've been hearing a lot of people say that lately. Pro Wrestler Shoot says, I was upset they didn't give Julia the strap. I was rooting for her. Her gimmick is great. Yeah. Come McKinney, come on now. Come on now.
She's gifted in that regard. I'll give her that.
Chris Yamlander.
Yeah.
Also, Christian is acting devil evil heel. Swerve should be the big boss heel. Mogul Embassy are the soldiers. Prince Nana is the consultant / gesture of the court and the castle. I like it. That makes sense. Swerve Strickland should get that proper push now with the win over Hangman. Truth be told, should have been the one to dethrone Orange Cassidy when he was international champion. That's where I'm leading to. Let him be the one to defeat Rey Fenix. That'd be a good match, I think, too.
It wouldn't bother me at all. I mean, I don't think he's quite. You can't just put him right there with MJF yet. But I think him being international champion makes perfect sense.
Yeah, MJF's got too much going on, and I don't think he's going anywhere still for a little bit.
Well,
not with that whole 2024 thing they bring up.
It's October. That's all I'm gonna say. It's October.
True. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's almost a year, right? Yeah. Yes, you're right. I think Julia winning wouldn't have been bad. I think Julia was over enough to be champ for a while. Put a belt on Swerve and let someone chase him. I like it. Look at this. BJ comes in. This match showcased that I appreciate technical wrestling, but I need more to make it my cup of tea. Also, Danielson won in a non-technical way, so ZSJ still wears that crown currently. He didn't. The TV dinner title was not on the line. I don't know why New Japan put that on that big brown strap. I hate the look of the belt, like with that strap, but that big plate on it. Did you see it? Like, do you like that look?
It reminds me of like the NXT NXT UK Championship.
I like that belt though.
Yeah. The bottom line is the greatest wrestler in the world today was in a 6-man tag, not in this match.
Who? Kenneth Omega?
No, Kenny Omega. I've never said Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world. You know who I think the best wrestler in the world is?
William
Ospreay. That's correct. The best wrestler alive today.
Don Callis Heat. What up, Tokyo? Don Callis Heat is real.
Yes, it is.
Real, bro. They were booing that man so loud. I was like, let me turn this down so the intern don't hear what these fans are chanting. I was like, what are y'all doing? Sammy Guevara, Will Ospreay, and the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita versus the Golden Jets of yo, stop, Sean. Don't make me laugh, bro. Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi. This was another one, though, where they were like, the Don Callis family cannot be fooled.
This is true.
It was good, though, man. Do you think we're getting Omega and Ospreay? They got to go back at it at Wrestle Kingdom, right?
I don't think there's any way to get around it. I mean, they are 2 of the top 5 in the world today, and I don't think that rivalry is over.
It was fairly interesting, but they walked away with the win. I thought that was another great match. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. was an absolute classic, in my opinion. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was technical wrestling at its purest form at best.
Quilly, I agree.
Jocelyn says, Julia has improved, but it isn't time for her to win the title. She needs more mic time to be the full package.
I understand that assessment. She doesn't, to me, you make a strong point. I guess I'm just looking at it, and maybe Conrad's looking at it from a perspective of like, it felt like a win until it wasn't. Does that make any sense?
If it's not her, I think I kind of know who might be the person that they put that strap on. We just have to wait for her to show up. She's gonna come in asking for a lot of Monet. We'll just say
the best women's wrestler in the world today.
It's only a matter of time before it happens, folks. Nigel McGuinness on commentary during Brian's ZSJ was awesome. They're doing that match before he goes away, I'm telling you. Nigel McGuinness and Danielson are going to wrestle. It's got to happen. Brian Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, the rematch. That's one of ROH's best feuds. They're going to go in there and do it. I actually to watch Nigel
McGuinness's documentary. I have such respect for that guy.
Yeah. Tough cookie. Belt buckle belt. Tokyo said the TV dinner title got ready stupid. I'm just telling y'all. New heel heat for Nick Wayne. Oh boy.
By the way, I saw that coming a mile away.
Everybody did. You had to. By the way, hold on here. While we're talking about some of these other things, Luchasaurus destroyed this man on the pre-show. Keith Lee was on the pre-show. Like it just crazy everything that happened at this show. And I'm just wondering, where's Powerhouse Hobbs? Where is Miro? I hope they have big matches lined up for them for Full Gear. You know, I'm just putting it out there, Sean. I'm just wondering where sometimes there's a such thing as too much talent. They got a lot.
They do have a lot. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, sometimes people get lost in the shuffle.
Moxley on the mic during matches was pure joy. Sounds like he got fined a couple times during those things. Like, can't be saying that stuff. He's like, I covered the mic. I can still hear you.
Like, I can still hear you, dude. Like, right.
Yeah.
Even though SHIT, I don't think is against the rules, right?
I don't think any of it is on pay-per-view, but I think Tony was like, hey, what have I told y'all about saying this stuff? Like, y'all got to stop.
Right.
But apparently money don't hurt, because he said that, then he still went out there and did it again, but I think he thought, oh, I'm covering my mic, so it's okay. And I'm like, bro, you got to press the button on the bottom.
That doesn't work. I can still, it's a little muffled, but I can still hear you.
Right? Big shout out to the homie Jesus. Just sent me a message talking about something. Where's your WrestleDream review? I'm like, I'm doing it right now. Doing it now. We live. You got to be in here. 6:05. All right. That's when it's going down. Going to Grillmaster. Welcome, Grillmaster.
Welcome.
Some nice action last night. Julia Hart surprised me how much she has improved. Can we ban the super kick for a while too? Too many times. Before we get to the main event, let Conrad. I want one of these real quick for myself. I was on point with my predictions. Number one for WrestleDream, I aced the whole card, like who I called was winning. And some people were like, no, Young Bucks ain't winning that number one tag team contendership. You know what the CM Punk fan said? You are bugging if you don't think they're winning this.
Right.
Someone's like, oh, they just won the ROH 6-man titles.
They're about to strap them up, man. They're about to strap them up, and I can't believe I'm saying this. The Bucks are getting a little corny for me, bro.
Just now?
They're still tremendous athletes, but it's kind of like, you know, ugh.
I haven't been feeling it for a while myself, sir, to be honest with you. Not since around the time when they like beat the Lucha, or the Lucha Bros defeated them in the cage match. Ever since then, I feel like they've been kind of just sliding down a little bit. Claudio's match was dope. Josh Barnett and Claudio locked up. I thought that was a good match. That was another kind of like UFC technical, but then you just saw Claudio is so strong, dude. I don't know if people realize that. So good match to bring up, E. I'm gonna put up some of your comments. Sean, let's talk about it, man. Main event time, Christian and Darby. Christian Cage delivers again, bro.
Christian Cage has really been impressive in this run with the TBS belt. The TNT belt. I think that he's really shown. I think he's improved his Hall of Fame credentials as well. I mean, he's real. This latest incarnation. This is Jericho-esque to me. I mean, Christian has redefined himself and arguably doing the best work of his career. Arguably, I mean, he's been world champion before. He's obviously one of the innovators of the ladder match, but what he's done in AEW, especially over the past 6 months, has been top tier.
Yes. Very, very legit. I've told people for a long time, I've always sang Christian's praises, and I thought WWE's first mistake was when they didn't even give him a title match when he was at his hottest in like 2005. I was like, bro, give this guy the shot against Cena. He was one of the first people I was like, he might be the guy to beat John Cena. They didn't do it. He went to TNA. Incredible run. Christian's problem is the same problem that a lot of guys have. I call it CM Punk, Seth Rollins. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. They always have something that happens that outshines them, or a situation. Like I said recently with Punk, that Brawl Out thing just ruined it. Before then, he had the John Cena monster hanging over him. Then you look at Christian Cage. Do you remember when he was in TNA? Sean, he was a big deal for like a couple months. And then you know who came in right after? Herc Angle came right in. And he was just...
Herc Angle? Wow.
That's what they called him back then. Yo, he was putting out some amazing matches. Like,
you know what? I don't
stop
think
him.
Kurt Angle was on drugs. I don't think Kurt
Anywho.
I think Kurt Angle just was very intense and very excited to be in total nonstop action wrestling.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all believe what you want. We know the deal. Kurt Angle he came in and he delivered, but then Christian went right back to the role that he was in another company. He was like, I could have stayed there and did that if that's what you were going to do with me.
I mean, he is also a former TNA World Heavyweight, NWA, whatever you want to call it, World Heavyweight Champion too. He did win the belt.
And he won the TNA title technically with that last run. That was what he was. He made event my favorite pay-per-view by AEW. All Out 2021, I think, is still their best pay-per-view they've ever put on.
All right, so he's highly decorated. I mean, it's not like his career has been like a dud. Christian has literally outworked everyone. If they put him against MJF, I wouldn't be mad. He's the most evil heel in AEW at this point. Right now, he is. Yes, he is. Kurt Angle was a TNA original. Kurt Angle was WWE.
Listen, on some real, at one point, Kurt Angle spent more time in TNA than WWE. That was another like crazy fact. Once I saw it, I was like, it's true.
It's
true. That was crazy. Yeah, I'm digging what they're doing here. Adam Cole going out with an injury. We really didn't talk about that too much too because I saw someone McKinney had mentioned it. Unbelievable, bad timing.
Adam Cole's not injured. I'm starting to believe it's all a fake.
Well, we'll save that. We'll get into that. That's another one of Sean's genius points that we'll talk about later. With this, Darby Allin is a madman. I don't know how many times I have to say this. That body slam on the steps, what was he thinking? And I think Christian called an audible. I think he was supposed to get power bombed on him, and Christian was like, no. And then he was like, you got to do something. He was like, I'm going to body slam you because this is probably like way less impactful.
I mean, when you see the replay, it was very uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah. Dude, so bad. So bad, bro. Like, I just felt for Darby. I'm like, why do you put your body through this?
I mean, salute to him. Like, look, he's making a name for himself by being Mick Foley 2.0, but Mick Foley can barely walk now, and I don't mean that to be funny. I mean that to be real. I don't want Darby Allin limping around at 40 years old, barely able to walk.
Right. And that goes into the same thing of Jeff Hardy, too. Like, look how the Hardy Boys move now. Darby goes up. He gets the first pinfall. Christian gets the next one. Christian starts tearing up the ring. Nick Wayne, heel turn, hits Darby with the belt to no one's surprise, as Sean said earlier. I think everybody's seen that coming. His mom was shocked. Shout out to Nick Wayne's mom. Anyway, the idea, I just saw a lot of people loving her, and I was like, yo, you guys are crazy.
She's an attractive older woman. We can say that. She's probably got me by about 5 or 6 years. She looks like she's in her 40s.
I was going to use an abbreviation that would be inappropriate. It's milk, but there's an F at the end.
We're not doing that.
I'm just letting you know. It's out there. She was looking bad in the front row. So they were out there doing the thing. She was hurt. Her son turned. He joined Christian. I hope this isn't going to be like the father figure he always needed. I don't know what they're going to do with this. But Nick Wayne's probably going to be better in this role because the whole, like, the young baby face, it wasn't working anymore for me.
It wasn't.
Like,
it wasn't. I
when
mean,
he came out, I was like, Luchasaurus beat him.
Yeah, I like him as part of a stable.
So crazy. And BJ said he also thinks Jack Perry's going to return and join Christian's stable and be part of it with them.
I actually see that happening too. I mean, they're going to have to create a pretty good story to explain why all of a sudden it's all good between Luchasaurus and Jack Perry.
We will see. Maybe, but Christian, they were a good group when Christian was with them. They were
I take that back. All Christian has to say is, hey, listen, let's let bygones be bygones and let's get this money.
Now I'm going to need you out there for my title match later.
Exactly.
You know, exactly like it. If Darby doesn't get hurt on his Everest climb, can he do it even if his shoulder's busted right now? BJ, really?
Nick Wayne's mom has got it going on.
Vocals by Sean. If anybody wants to book him for your local karaoke,
Nick
Christian said that Nick
has got it going on. I like it.
Christian did say Nick Wayne is a good boy in the press conference. Christian was the best in that press conference. Did you hear what he said to Alvarez?
He was like, "Do you wrestle? Do you wrestle?" I was like, Christian, what's going on? Like, Christian was making me nervous. Like, Christian, are we really like? You seem like you really like are angry right now, dude. Like, OG, like, chill, OG.
Yo, you guys in the chat are bugging about Nick Wayne's mom. Nick Wayne is AEW. I know I can't be
wrong, but I'm in love with Nick Wayne's mom.
That might be your clip for your TikTok this week. That might have to be your clip. Nick Wayne is AEW's Dom. Nikki, now you can't unsee it.
Nikki, can't you see? You're the only one for me. I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Nikki's mom. I can do this all day. Shout out to Doug. Shout out to BJ. Shout out to McKinney. I can do this all day, bro. And I can sing a little bit, so I can really carry the note. I got y'all.
I'll have to do some raps. I can't do that. But Christian gets the win. Here comes Sting.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
Could you imagine if Sting was singing that walking down his coat? Sting comes down in his long sleeve shirt. I know he was hot. Sting comes down, make the save. He was doing good. They get overwhelmed. There's no one there to even the odds. Boom. You know Tony Khan. You know how Tony Khan gets down. He's out there. He's like, oh, lights go out.
Yeah.
Lights come back on. There's a video playing. So all of a sudden the bad guys don't know what to do for a second. And then you get this whole video production. You see someone in a car. It looks like it's Detroit, but it's not. And he's going around in circles. Then you see Rated R, and the fans pop as soon as they saw it. And then after you saw the Rated R part, you knew. And the lights hit, and then you just heard you think you know him. That's all I think about as soon as I hear the theme. And this guy decides to come out. Adam Copeland will be the new name. Edge, formerly known as Edge. Yes. FK. You see how I did that? FK.
I like it.
He comes out to save the day. He had to get his pyro off first, though, before he made any saves. He took over the Cody pyro, but that was good for him. I love seeing Edge happy. I remember when we talked about the Royal Rumble when he came back. I was so happy to hear that music, and he got that moment.
Yeah, how could you not be happy for him? Yeah.
And I'm happy for him here too. Like, I'm like, okay, he's getting to do something different. Let's see what he's able to do here.
And you know, he probably only signed a 2-year deal, or it's going to be a short deal, but I think he can make an impact here.
They said full time in the media scrum, which I was shocked. Yeah, but what does that mean in AEW versus WWE is different full time than that. So chair shots to the back. He fakes out like he was going to hit Sting. He knocks Nick Wayne loopy, spears Luchasaurus, spears Nick Wayne. Christian runs off. You see the little highlight with the belt. Could they be competing for the TNT Championship in the future, or is this a big 6-man tag match later?
I think it's almost a foregone conclusion that you're going to see Edge versus Christian in Full Gear.
And you know what's the crazy part? You could have went multiple ways with this, and I wouldn't have been mad. You could have had them reunite. You could have had them face each other. The Edge and Christian dynamic always gives you returns, I think, versus like when you do this with the Hardys, I feel like it doesn't work when you try to like have them face each other because you want to see the Hardy Boys together as a team.
Yeah, no doubt.
Edge and Christian always had this little swarmy, like who's going to be the first to do something. But
I think one of the dopest heel turns in the history of the business, and I say one of. It'll never be Macho turning on Hogan. It'll never be Stone Cold joining forces with McMahon. But when Christian turned on Edge in 2001, that was epic, bro. That was epic.
It was great. I loved it with let me tell you, one of Edge's best promos of all time, and I feel bad because it's about Billy Gunn, and Billy Gunn was on the pre-show too.
Oh, man, I know where you're going.
You remember that with the, hey, Billy Gunn, if I ever lose the King of the Ring and my job is to go to WWF New York and eat a meatball sub, someone just end me now. And then he was like, I promise that I will not Billy Gunn this King of the Ring title. And I was like, why did you
that was
do
rough.
this?
But you know what? Like, not to go too much on a tangent, like Billy Gunn was the only one, well, Shamrock too. Billy Gunn and Shamrock in the early days of the King of the Ring were the only ones that didn't exceed, move forward past that and win championships. I mean, world
Ken
champions.
Shamrock should have, though.
No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't. Ken Shamrock was hot garbage as a wrestler.
Ken Shamrock could have been the world champ, I think, if you would have pushed him at one point. I think what hurt him, now you better get ready to be surprised by this because of who I'm a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
I think because of his relationship with Bret Hart, because that's who helped train him. I think that's what hurt him because look who was at the top. You think he's going to lose to you?
First of all, in 1997, Shawn Michaels was an upstanding human being. There's no way that Shawn Michaels and that his wonderful Christian personality would have ever allowed. I'm kidding, obviously. Really? So you really? I mean, let's not get into Ken Shamrock too deep. But you think Ken? First of all right. Ken Shamrock.
He was not using Saxton Hardcastle. His name in WCW.
Ken Shamrock was limited. That's the reason why. But it is what it is. But talking about Edge again. Edge has been this charismatic guy for 25 years. So it's like him coming in now. It's perfect for the industry. And you know what? You want to think that it would set a little fire to the backsides of WWE, but when they bring back CM Punk, it's not going to matter.
Save that too. We got a lot of combo to get to. I know we're 40 minutes in. We got a lot. Promise. We'll get into it. But Edge is here, man. It's happened. And I'm gonna get to you, Terrell. I saw you come in. Shout out to you, brother. Edge is in. Edge is all elite. Or rated R superstar Adam Copeland.
He's the rated R superstar Adam Copeland. Have some respect, Conrad. Good God.
Listen, with other people it's easy, but when you've been getting called that for 20 years, it's gonna be rough for me.
No, well, you know what? You're a professional. Be a professional and call him by his name. We moved past Edge now. There's no more Edge. He's the rated R superstar Adam Copeland. Get used to it.
Adam Copeland's first match is going to be Tuesday, October 10th. It's going to be out in Independence. Is that Missouri?
Yep.
I always hate that it's not like M.I., but it's M.O. Just a weird thing for me. But rated R superstar Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus. He's going to get his big debut. I'm interested to see what he comes out rocking, the gear, everything. He's here. He's arrived. Was this the big?
I'm so disappointed.
Was this the big adrenaline that AEW needed, though, for you, Sean?
Yes. I've said it before. AEW needs to stockpile these debuts. I know you can't live and die on debuts, but what happened last night, Conrad, let me know if I'm right or I'm wrong. What happened last night is exactly why I said Michigan. Thank you, Doug. We were both wrong. If MI stands for Michigan. Wait.
Oh, I know what MI stands for.
So Missouri. So we were right. Missouri is MO.
MO. But I hate that it's MO. It's because Michigan's MI, though. I get why they do it. But.
So we were right. But you're right, Doug. MI. So MO is Missouri and MI is Michigan. Okay. So at the end of the day, we're looking at a situation where he comes in and he's going to be tremendously effective. And I told you from day one, Conrad, and you fought me on this because you're like, that's not sustainable. And it's true. You can't have a major debut every pay-per-view. But you know what? This was the first pay-per-view where we all left saying that was freaking awesome. And what did it have as its main event? Edge. No longer Edge. Adam Copeland.
But you needed that, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think after they did the All Out where they did like 2 or 3 in one night, which is unheard of, but I get it. They wanted people talking. Punk was back, and we got these people. You can't always do that. You know, sometimes the show just has to be great for its own merits. But tonight it was needed.
No, you're wrong, my brother. You're wrong.
I will disagree.
AEW is not there yet where they can have a show where it's just on its own. We've seen it over the last 3 months. They put together 3 crappy pay-per-views in a row.
Contraire, my friend. That's not what other people are saying. That was one of my.
Anybody says. I don't care what anybody says about All Out. All In did not live up to expectations, even though it was a good show. And All Out was hot garbage. All Out was bad, bro. I don't care what nobody says. All Out was bad. All Out needed to have, not that it could have been done because Edge was still under contract. All Out needed Edge, bro, to save that show.
Yeah, you couldn't do that night, though.
It was too soon. I'm saying that tongue in cheek. All Out was terrible, bro. Look, you have to do things that are special to set yourself apart. You have to do things that are special to set yourself apart. Adam Copeland debuting last night is what took that show from a B+ to an A. From a B+ to an A. Point blank, period.
It got people talking. I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying, Sean, is like I said, I fully believe long term it's not, you can't remain stable doing that, is what I'm saying.
Right.
There's just no way. There's no way. Let's see here. Edge is in AEW. I'm still calling the prediction. When it happens with he says Rock showing up in AEW. Terrell, you are bugging. I don't see it, but maybe unless it's for a promo for a movie, I can't see it.
Dwayne Johnson doesn't love wrestling enough to show up at AEW.
I'm gonna leave that where that is because
I'm sick and tired of you glossing over my comments, Conrad. I said it. I'm gonna say it again. Dwayne Johnson doesn't love wrestling enough to come to AEW. Just like he doesn't love wrestling enough to not show up except once every 5 years.
I'm just reading some of these takes in the chat too, and listen, Sean. We will tackle The Rock once we get closer to WrestleMania.
There is no Rock. You mean you want to talk about Dwayne Johnson? No problem.
I mean, if he shows up.
Ooh.
See, now you get back. See, when he showed up for the couple weeks, Sean had to call him The Rock.
Couple weeks. He showed up one night. Don't get me started, Conrad. Do not get me started.
Someone said that if Vince was still fully in charge of WWE, they don't think Edge would have left because of his loyalty, but now it's a little different. I don't know what Edge is really looking for.
Vince are close?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I would assume he's close to people who he put in that top tier range at some point.
100% BJ. 100% BJ.
JR's been getting a little mad on commentary too. All right. Who are you talking to, young man? Like JR thought he was about to take his belt off on Zack Sabre Jr. on Collision.
I love JR, and JR is the senior elder statesman here, but you know something? We can't say certain things on the air, Jimbo. And I'm not wrong if I'm telling you, hey, listen, you can't say Edge on camera, big guy.
Yeah. Have you seen the cage match ratings for All Out? So I'm going to end this real quick. So this is what I'm talking about with AEW fans. The copium needs to stop with some of these shows. I've seen this is the best Collision ever, and I'm like, what? What Collision was the best ever? Stop this. Are you feeling it too, Sean? Like that people are overhyping some of these things that are AEW fans?
Conrad, do you see my face? Of course it's overhyped. Just because something does good numbers doesn't mean it's good, bro. We've been on the same page with that the whole way. Good numbers doesn't. Raw does good numbers. It does. Raw's not a good show. Don't get me.
Cage match ratings don't matter. They shouldn't matter to you. It's based off of perception and opinion. That is a collective group of fans who like one style of things and they see it that way. If that's what Tony Khan wants to base his business off of, feel free, be my guest. But I think there's some constructive criticism that could help AEW as well along the way. Let's not act like Dynamite hasn't been down for the past few months too. Right. Like there's some shows that I'm like, it's back, and then there's shows where I'm like, ooh, it's not there tonight. You know, it's just a fact. That's just me being polite. I'll let you know when the copium is coming in and I'm starting to hear people say some fraudulent things. And by the way, if you're crapping on Edge for what he did in this whole situation, bro, get serious. All right.
Somebody has an issue about Adam going to AEW.
Oh well, there were some fans that were like, take him out the Hall of Fame. He, you know how it goes every time this stuff happens. The tribalism.
That's stupid, right?
Listen. There's going to be more of this. It's going to happen even more next year because AEW had people sign 3 or 4 year contracts when they started, right? It's going to 2024 is going to be big for that. WWE's got contracts coming up too. It's going to happen. So brace yourselves, sit back. People are going to leave. People are going to leave AEW too. And people are going to leave WWE because they're going to want to know what is it like on the other side. Yeah. Can I make more money? This is good for your company. As much as WWE doesn't want to admit it, imagine if AEW never existed, Sean. Where would we be right now?
We'd be back in 2003.
Shinsuke Nakamura is here. That's where we would be. I don't want that. All right. So let's pump the brakes and let's just remember that this is good for the wrestling business as a whole. You could say FKA. Dynamite getting 9s on cage match just because Punk's gone. Punk and Collision were right in my flavor town. Conrad and Hubbard, who has the bigger bandwagons right now? AEW, the Chiefs, or the Colorado Buffaloes? Wow.
I would say, and this is speaking from a personal perspective, I will admit I've been a Notre Dame fan my entire life. I have never cheered for the Colorado Buffaloes before 2023. So I'll probably say the Colorado Buffaloes, but it's okay to like somebody because somebody's there. Notre Dame is still my team, but the Colorado Buffaloes are awesome because of Dion and Shador and Shiloh. There's nothing wrong with that. What do you think, Conrad?
I'm going to go Colorado as well, but I'm going to add another category on there, and I'm going to put emo Jimmy Butler in there because I've been seeing that picture go around too. Yo, shout out to Jimmy Butler too for his ultimate haterade of y'all need to look into contract tampering when it comes to that deal that just went down with the Bucks because he really wanted Lillard on his team. I was dying laughing at it. Crazy. Good for them, man. E, shout out to you, bro. I see you putting up your stuff here. I'm gonna let you pop off with that. Let's NXT. I'm not gonna get too deep into this, but I thought NXT No Mercy told a heck of a story. Fans yelling, "Whoop that trick!" I don't even think half of them know what a trick is. They were out there for Trick Williams. Stop.
Yeah. Stop. I like it. Let go. Come on. Yeah. I like it.
What you doing, man? That's not my favorite song. Isn't even that one on there. It was the one for well, I can't even sing it on here, but you know what song that was.
Real quick, shout out to the culture though, bro. Shout out to the culture. Like the culture is making huge. I mean, Swerve Strickland, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes. The list goes on and on and on, man. Like the culture and its influence on the business, I love it.
It's changing.
Yeah.
It's changing for sure. Now, I do have to say something, though. It also shows how far behind wrestling is when it comes to the culture, for the record.
Yeah.
I want to say something, though. I'm going to give someone in the chat their flowers. McKinney. McKinney has talked about how good NXT is. I'll tell McKinney this, and I stand by this. I think that NXT is good when allowed to be. But NXT also still has a lot of goofy stuff that I personally don't want to see, really. But that's just me speaking. Because they do a lot of things that I'm like, oh, this is kind of goofy and silly, but you can get away with it there. But when it comes to those takeover shows, let's go. Mm-hmm. Those always deliver. Those specials, those PLEs are great. Not surprised, Rob. It's more so like NXT frustrated me for a little bit because some people are starting to say like this is better than Black and Gold, and I'm like, yo, I don't know if I can stand that.
That's not true. That's not true, right?
There's people, but you know what by the way, the copium is on both sides. Like it's not just one company talking like that. Right. It is true, but I was happy for that. Trick Williams becoming the champ, cool. Let's not act like the ratings are up on NXT because they brought Becky Lynch down there is one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
Like that's good. It's smart. They're trying to get a package deal for Raw and NXT. I get it. Do your thing. Tiffany Stratton, that match with Becky, I didn't like parts of it, but I thought it was really good. She showed out. She's so much better than when I first saw her.
Yeah, she's improved a great deal, and I think she has main event caliber talent.
Makes it look good. Trick is that old dude from Def Jam fight.
Yeah. I like it.
Dude, they got to make Booker be his hype man no matter what. After this.
Facts, BJ.
Rob said they always deliver in the ring. I agree, Rob. I agree. You know I told you that. I told y'all NXT is fire. They put on bangers. McKinney, you are 1,000% right, bro.
You are right, McKinney. There's no question that you are right.
HBK, the Black Audience Whisperer.
You know what? I think HBK has always been somebody who's cool with the culture. I mean, look, Michael Hickenbottom. Let's be real. Michael Hickenbottom is from San Antonio, Texas. It is what it is, right? But I think Shawn Michaels has been around enough black people and enough culture to understand that, like, you know what? I just want to put it in a way, like, I think Shawn Michaels appreciates. I don't know how to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he understands the culture. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Shawn did. Haven't you ever heard he got into an argument with someone over that stuff?
No, I didn't.
I want to tell you about this, but I don't want to get too political.
All right, no
but
problem.
Let's just say during a time there were protests happening in the country over the treatment of certain people. Mm-hmm. And Shawn Michaels heard people talking about it. And Shawn Michaels opened up his mouth when someone started saying some ignorant stuff about it. And he happened to be pro the people who were being oppressed in the situation. He was like, hey, why don't you take some time and learn how to read some things? And I was like, you from Texas for real? Like, I was just like, wow, that's what people love about Shawn.
You telling me and the world this is yet another reason why I love Shawn Michaels. Wow.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, you may not like him for his different stuff, but come on now. Shawn was cool.
That's so cool.
And by the way, Shawn Michaels saved CM Punk's job one time. Most people don't know that. They were making fun of Punk for this. Why does he do that? That's so stupid. And Shawn was like, do you know anything about him? Well, no. Maybe you should talk to him once in a while. He's a pretty good kid if you go and talk to him and find out more. He's smart. And he told him he got it. And I think that, I don't know how CM Punk, like, if all these people hated him, I don't know how he ever got pushed, but someone likes him. People like him. Some people in powerful positions must. So, Ilya versus Melo 2 was awesome. Becky, excuse me, I almost said Bethany. Becky and Tiffany was very good as well. I loved Ilya and Melo 2. Were you shocked by the finish?
I was shocked by the finish. I didn't see that coming.
New champ, Ilya Dragunov. I mean, you couldn't have him lose again either. That's why I went in like, I don't know who's winning this. I just went off the cuff and I picked him, but
I'm hearing that.
I picked Melo in that one. I was wrong on that one.
Stay in NXT and turn on Trick Williams. I hope not. Oh my!
Did you see the look though when they celebrated and he had the belt, and then afterwards he came and was like, "It's all right, man. It's all good. We still got each other." And then he looked at the belt and he was like,
"That's what I'm saying." Like, but see, that's WWE. See, that's the reason why. Just when you think something is good, just when you think. WWE. Okay, let's move on.
Listen, let's keep it there. Quill said Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov was an instant classic yet again. I rocks with Melo and Dragunov, one of my favorites. I just added it to our end of the year match of the year category, so I'm gonna need everybody filling it out. If you thought that was great, let's see. We still got 3 more months to add some stuff to it. Rob says, I'll die on the hill that Gargano ruins everything that he was involved in. Leave my man Johnny wrestling alone. Cray in the house. What's good, Cray? I'm late, but what up? Appreciate you. HBK wants Punk in NXT. I did hear that on the call as well, that he said he would welcome him. But who wouldn't in NXT? Like, come on now. Water is wet, you know? Trick Williams, people feeling it. HBK is letting them come to him and explain what's cool and what's happening. If you look at the show, it's a lot of attitude era things at NXT, a lot of chaos and shock endings. Dragunov got that Yuta in him, that dog.
Yeah.
Didn't I tell y'all about Wheeler Yuta? I was watching, it was either Dynamite or Collision when he went up to him. I'm like, didn't I tell y'all this Captain Planet? He gets mad. You littered. Why? Yuta, why are you in this dude's face right now? You've been talking bad about my friends. I want to fight you. That's Yuta's gimmick every time. He just shows up and starts trashing you. Oh, so funny. All right. Shawn mentioned it. I guess now is probably the appropriate time to talk about it. Shawn, I want your business expertise. Put the business cap on for me. I need Shawn the manager in here right now. Like he's in the TKO boardroom with me. We just saw the AEW pay-per-view. Don't act like they don't watch them shows. I'll smack somebody in here if they want to tell that lie. So they just saw Edge come out and they're like, listen, man, we got Authors of Pain. We got Brian Pillman Jr. down in NXT. You know, they just put out a press release for that. We just announced Jade. We don't really have Jade right now. Do you do it, Shawn? If you're sitting in the boardroom Do you say, yeah, let's give this a shot? Or are you like, nope, he ain't worth it. It ain't worth the trouble. It ain't worth the hassle. He's going to come in here making demands. I don't got time for this. What do you think? Because you've been here with me through the beginning. Our first podcast was based on Triple H taking over and all out media scrum. This story is still going on 57 episodes later.
Well, first I want to say my hair looks great. That's number one.
Oh, all right. Like I'm not bald over here.
Number two, where's Roman Reigns? Anybody seen him?
Ooh, do you want to? Are we tying that in now too?
No, because that's part of my answer. I haven't lost my mind and didn't hear what you said. Where has anybody seen Roman Reigns? Because I haven't. And the next thing I'm hearing about him showing up is mid-October. So
10-14, right?
Yeah. So WWE needs CM Punk. Is Cody enough? Cody hasn't been enough, in my opinion.
Not lately.
Is Judgment Day enough? They're good, but they're not moving the bar. Go ahead.
Have you seen the Judgment Day memes on Twitter?
Yeah, I have.
Except when Ed first goes to speak. Anytime someone's about to talk, they just play Judgment Day's music. Like, get out there. Go. I need you.
But I mean, let's just go down the line. Where's Roman Reigns? Can't find him.
They've been having Jimmy and Solo try to like.
I'm going there.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you rock.
No, Roman Reigns nowhere to be found. Cody Rhodes, not enough. At least doesn't seem that way right now. Judgment Day, good, but not moving the needle. Bloodline, sloppy, unimaginative, confusing. We're just gonna act like Jey Uso didn't kick Roman Reigns in the head. Jey Uso didn't kick Roman Reigns in the head. We're gonna act like Jimmy Uso wasn't going to war with Solo, and now he's saying that he's the one again. We're not gonna act like he's sitting up here acting like he's Roman Reigns in the ring, but yet he's still with the bloodline. Stupid, corny, unimaginative. The answer is yes, you bring back CM Punk, because at this stage you need CM Punk. WWE continue. I watched my first episode of SmackDown, other than the Bray Wyatt tribute show and the Terry Funk tribute show, this past Friday. I didn't even know what I was watching, bro. You got Jimmy Uso in the ring trying to dap up Solo. Solo doesn't even want to acknowledge him, no pun intended. He's taking the mic from Paul Heyman, acting like he's Roman Reigns.
Did you appreciate delusional Jimmy Uso, though?
I appreciate delusional Jimmy, but it's not going to tie in right, because as Sir Quills just pointed out, whatever good idea that we would think is going to be correct, that you know what that means. They're not going to do what they're supposed to do with it. So you got Jay, who is as hot as fish grease right now, doing nothing but getting colder by the week, because they have now interjected him into this ridiculous, ongoing, never-ending saga between the Judgment Day and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So yes, you need CM Punk, because WWE continues to be hot, smoldering garbage.
Can I give two theories?
You can give three theories, whatever you want to do, brother.
So listen, first for Jimmy Uso, I'm going to try to make this work. So here's one of the things I like to do. If I have an issue with something, I'm like, how can I make this work? What is the purpose of what they're doing? You've all seen, do you love mobster movies? I'm a mobster movie fan. This is Goodfellas. Jimmy Uso is Joe Pesci. He's getting out of line. He doesn't see it. He thinks that he's trying to get in with everybody, but he's getting out of line. And I think that a beatdown is possibly coming for him from the family. He's going to get whacked. All right, like he's gonna get beat down. He's gonna think he's getting led to a great thing, and they're gonna be like, nah. Once you turned on the tribal chief, you ain't wanted around here no more. Dumpster, dump him in there, and he'll have nothing.
Gonna try and get back in good races with Jay, like what he did to Jay didn't happen. All the sins that Jimmy has committed, we're just supposed to forget. Do you understand how stupid that is?
I hear you. I totally hear you. It doesn't make sense from how they wrote this. I feel like plans must have changed because there's no way. Now, I'm gonna go with this Cody thing because so the plan is to heat Cody up, right? We got to figure out how to get Cody hot for WrestleMania again because Shawn doesn't think Rock's showing up. Everyone's like Hollywood strikes over. Rock's gonna be busy. So let's just say
who's the Rock? Who is that?
Stop calling this man Dwayne Johnson.
That's his name. He's an actor. No, Dwayne Johnson is not coming back. Go ahead.
Let's just assume he's not for this purpose. You have Cody sitting here, but we don't have a big time match right now for Survivor Series, right? Maybe you could do Roman versus.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm gonna get back into it. Which one are you looking at here?
Keep talking. Keep talking, Conrad. Oh.
They're gonna set this up. You got on one side Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and you got some other people who could be partners with them, Sammy and KO.
Sammy and KO again. Go ahead.
Right. So they could go up against maybe the Judgment Day, right? Hear me out. Hear me out. Maybe they have a conflict with JD. Are they going to include him in? Whatever you want. It leads them to have an outnumbering of people, though, or maybe they add someone to the team that it's like, oh wow, this is going to change things, and it's 4-on-5, and maybe they're going to do war games. Why not have a mystery person? And Cody says, I made a few phone calls. We're going to make this happen. Cody says, I got a mystery person in there. He will be the last entrant on our team for war games. CM Punk coming back to that could be in. That could work, and I think that would heat up Cody, and Cody will get cheered for that. Like, I brought him back too. Like, I know they're doing the whole like Cody makes a call and it happens. It could work.
That sounds like a good idea.
Oh, here we go.
That sounds like a good idea, Conrad. It does.
But
you know what that
means. You know what that means. That we said at the same time.
It's gonna be Cody. I'm calling it right now. It's gonna be Cody, Jimmy, Sammy and KO versus probably Finn, Priest, Roman, and Solo. Or Roman and Jay, excuse me. That's going to be the match.
Listen, I think Cody wants that War Games match for his dad. He never got to have the proper War Games name to it. He's never got to get in there and show them what it's all about.
My guy Doug, I love it.
That sounds amazing.
You know what that means? Yo, Quilly, Doug, you know what that means, brothers.
He said Cody's mystery partner. My boy Bernard gonna come out there. Bernard the Bearer from Ring of Honor with Cody. Yes, baby, if you will. We can go out there. We could get funky like a monkey. Hit someone with a commode lid and go crazy.
Do me a huge favor. Please bring up McKinney's comment.
Yeah.
He already got whacked. Talking about Jimmy, that is. He already got quote unquote whacked when Roman and Solo put him on the stretcher. The Bloodline is jumping the shark and the MF Rainbow with this Roman not being there makes it work 100%, bro. The blood, like what is Jimmy? I'm gonna calm down. What
Good point, Rob.
Is Jimmy doing? What is Jimmy doing? Jimmy's this makes no sense. Jimmy's walking around like a chicken with a head cut off, beating up Hit Row for what? What is going on here? It makes Solo's looking at him like, what are you doing? Paul Heyman's like, what are you doing? They're even like us, the fans are looking at it like, what the hell are you doing? But like on TV, the storyline is also, what are you doing? Solo's looking at him like, what are you freaking doing? Paul Heyman's like, what are you doing? Like, he's throwing up the ones and nobody's doing it with him. He's trying to dap up his brother. His brother's ignoring him. Paul Heyman's looking at him like he's a freaking idiot. What exactly is happening here, bro?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with this, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe they tried to salvage this in some way, shape, or form. We'll see.
We'll bad, see. Bro. It's bad. It's bad. The bloodline even being called the bloodline right now is a joke.
I'm about to put Ian timeout if I see this ever get in this chat talking about Aaron Solos in the bloodline. Him and that foolishness. You got the smoldering hot part, right? Yeah. I mean,
PWS. I like you, bro. I think you're. First of all, let me go on record right now. PWS, you have always shown me the utmost respect, and you have been very gracious and kind. You have my utmost respect, but your blind appreciation for World Wrestling Entertainment, I will never Conrad, do you get it? I don't get it.
Well, no, I think he's talking about Cody, right?
No, I think he's talking about WWE because I call WWE smoldering hot garbage.
Oh, the smolder. I mean, he's viewing it probably from the business point. They're making money hand over fist. Sean, to this day, you can't explain it to me or you. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But the fans are showing up for them. They're selling out. AEW's the one struggling to sell out the arenas. You're waiting till the day of, like, I hope we could do some stuff to get into it. So I don't think he's wrong, but I agree with you in our mindset. Like,
well, he just said it. PWS is like, all I'm saying is explain the sellouts. I wish I could. I wish I could.
But like we said, though, we're still sitting up here talking about Sammy and KO versus the Judgment Day. Like, that's going to happen
every week. Week 1, Sammy versus Priest. Week 2, KO versus Priest. Week 3, KO and Sammy versus Priest and Finn. And then Finn and Dominic versus KO in a handicap match. And then Rhea versus KO in a you can't touch me because I'm a woman match. It's ridiculous. Every single week.
It's just there's a lot of repeat matches, which is frustrating, at least if you're trying to watch this. I want to get to Byron Cutler's comment here. Thoughts on my favorite wrestler, Karrion Kross? He needs to be repackaged. That's how I feel about him. I think him and Scarlett are great as a duo, but none of this is working. It's just not working.
I'm going to throw out a name. And no, I have not lost my mind, Conrad. Byron Cutler, excuse me. I see your comment, and what I'm about to say ties into your comment. I'm going to say a name. Lacey Evans. How many more repackages can you do?
So you're saying that he may have to.
It might be over. It might be over, and it's not Karrion Kross's fault. They've ruined him.
I love it, Craig.
They've ruined him.
Y'all heard about Cameron's Pound Town Wrestling? I've not heard about that. Compliment sandwich. I thought the smoldering was the Rock reference from Jumanji. I love you.
Whatever. Nighthawk, that's hilarious, though.
Yeah, listen. He said I can show you pictures of the attendance at WrestleDream and a WWE house show full of sellout attendance.
We believe you, bro. PW, you're on top of your game, my G. You are on top of
and no, he agrees with you. He said, I personally don't get it.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because at the end of the day, PWS, if you're saying that from the numbers standpoint, I don't really have a leg to stand on, you're right. I don't understand it. I don't.
Wow, Doug says, "Sean, sir, you are wonderful."
Oh, thank you, Doug. That was funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do for Karrion Kross, Byron. Like, I don't. We've tried multiple times. I don't know what the problem is. Something's not connecting with the audience, and it doesn't help when you have him 50-50 booking against AJ Styles and Nakamura and whoever he's feuding with. It doesn't help. Same thing. Where's Johnny Gargano? Put him and Tommaso Ciampa as a tag team now. I can't anymore. Like, I'm tired of this.
The less I believe that Probably, and you're once again, that's a good idea. You know what that means, dream of DIY getting back together. The further and further away that dream looks like to coming true.
Y'all gonna have to send me private messages about this wrestling organization you speak of, because I don't know what that's about. I don't know the numbers, but WWE will be here in my city in November, and I bet money it's a bigger crowd than AEW Collision when it was here.
It probably will be, Kenny. It probably will be.
I'll tell you, I told you guys this earlier, though. And Sean, I hope you believe me when I say this.
Yeah.
WCW and WWF in 1998 were the biggest shows you could go to. Sean could probably tell you back then. Do you remember how hard it was to get tickets? Could you get tickets to those shows in the Attitude Era?
Never, unless you weigh in as soon as it was announced and you hope for the best.
It was different back then. I'm telling you guys. Like, I don't think you know. There were times where my dad couldn't even get it. I live in Buffalo. I live in rinky-dink Buffalo. Who's going to these shows? And my dad would be like, yeah, sorry, I couldn't get them. Maybe we'll find them on sale later. Maybe someone will be giving them away. That's how it was back then. With this stuff now, it's because of AEW existing, though. Like, people are loyal to their brands. Like, people are getting into this. That's fine if that's what you want to do. But come on. Like, watch it all. Be a fan. I'm happy that there's multiple. WWE's doing better than they were before. I'll give them that over the last few years. Like, they're trying to do something. They are trying to build Roman Reigns. Before, we weren't getting any of that. It was just, you like it. This is what I'm giving you. This is what you like. And that was it. There was no, what can I say? There was no appeasing me or them. So it goes into it. I think Gargano's hurt. No, Gargano is on the house shows.
Gargano's on the main event too.
Yeah, like he's not. He got beat by Omos recently. I think I just saw.
For the first time ever tonight on Raw, it's gonna be Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn. Wait, but we've seen Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn, and the winner has to win by countout. Wow, what an innovative and what a super imaginative way. Like, it's like, I think Emleezy Fashidi says it best. Rinse, repeat. I think Shills has said it best too. Rinse, Quills.
Oh, that was Quill's line. Rinse, last, and repeat.
Said that. Shout out to Quilly. Rinse, repeat every week, bro. I mean, it's like, can you tell me, Conrad, the last time we haven't seen some incarnation of Judgment Day and some incarnation of Sammy and KO in the ring together?
I'm thinking.
And while you're thinking, they had the nerve to make that the main event last week. They had the nerve to be. That was the show that was the preview piece. Oh, make sure you tune into Raw. Sammy and KO versus Judgment Day for the World Tag Team Championship. Who cares?
The weird thing with WWE shows sometimes are, Sean, I feel like they're written by two different people. Like, so we were all thinking Chad Gable's going to win the title eventually, right? Like, he's going to be the one.
Hope so.
I didn't feel that last week. They've been having him. He just got beat by Bronson Reed. Like, what are you doing? What? But maybe it's a longer term thing. Maybe they're thinking long term with it. I'm hoping. I'm trying to give Sean, just hear me out. I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt here. Maybe we're wrong before we say anything, but it doesn't. The track record doesn't make me feel good about this. Is what I'm saying. It hurts.
You know what? I really want to dig into this for five more minutes. Less than that, actually. You know something? Quills and obviously people like Quills and Emleezy obviously understand where I'm coming from. In this case, me and you, Conrad, are on the same page. And then you have people like PWS who bring forth solid information that says otherwise. I'm confused, bro. I'm confused because WWE just doesn't seem like they try. That's the issue. They just don't seem like they... To me, I'm not impressed. Conrad, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not impressed by Cody Rhodes doing a run-in and saving Sami Zayn from the Judgment Day for the 1,000th time. That doesn't impress me.
I think they're trying to protect Cody, but it's coming at a hindrance point, too, to where you want Cody to do more. But that's why I'm saying, if you put Cody in like this War Games match, maybe that'll beef him up a little bit. And you got to let Cody go out there and do Cody things, though. I hope they do. Fingers crossed. I need that AEW Cody. I know it's going to sound weird to say to people, but I need that Cody in that War Games match.
Right.
Pro Wrestling Shoes, interesting. He said, I think Edge is going to change the attendance. Do you think more people show up for Edge?
I hope so.
Derek's an Edge head. I'll give him that. He's a fan. Oh, sorry, Adam Copeland. See?
I like that. I like that.
To write Edge.
That was good. That was good.
SmackDown's coming here to Brooklyn December 1st. I'll wait for the card before deciding. Card's always subject
first time ever. Judgment Day versus Sammy and KO.
Edge ain't changing no attendance. They already got Christian, he said.
Yo, he is hilarious, bro.
There's more kids going to WWE than AEW. Everyone loves their kids, so tickets will be different. Wow. Let me go down here. Pillman is signed, apparently. Yeah. Hey, now that's big, Bronson Reed. Rinse, lather, repeat. Control C, Control V. Copy, paste.
I'm with you, Quilly.
Pro Wrestler Shoe says, I may be alone in this, but last week when they did Bronson Reed versus Otis, I love that. That's a whole lot of me. I'm with that. No, I like that too, though. I like different shapes in pro wrestling. I don't like when everybody, do you remember like in 04 to 06, like everyone looked like Randy Orton? You can't know. I don't want that. I need to see some people on my screen that look like, this dude looks like he ain't letting a sandwich get away from him. That's what you need on the screen sometimes. With stuff. I liked Earthquake and Typhoon as kids. Like most people would be like, they're garbage. And I'm like, no, they were cool. Like they look different.
I'm still one of the biggest fans of the Twin Towers.
They beat my boys Sean and Marty. I wasn't feeling that too much at WrestleMania 5. Not a fan.
They teased, I'm not going to get too deep in it. They teased Twin Towers versus Demolition for the World Tag Team Championship, but it never happened. I thought that would have been dope, but I mean, I guess that's one of those, you wish you could have saw it moments.
You know who Bossman did win tag titles with? Ken Shamrock. Just wanted to point that out there for people. Oh, we were talking about Ken Shamrock earlier.
That guy was mid, bro. Ken Shamrock was mid.
Corporation for life, right?
Think about it. He beat The Rock in the finals of the King of the Ring. The Rock.
Those were great matches. See, that's why I think Ken Shamrock's good. I love those matches.
Oh,
I was more of a Rock fan.
Excuse me. He beat Dwayne Johnson in the main event of the King of the Ring.
All right. We're moving forward.
The Rock doesn't exist anymore.
We need to talk about the New York Liberty going to the WNBA finals. Let's go. Dude, listen, I'm one of the few people I will watch WNBA basketball. Like I know a lot of people will talk that garbage and that mess. I love basketball as a sport, and I love watching like WNBA basketball. It's the basics at its finest. Like it is really good and interesting to watch.
I would love to see a New York basketball team actually win something.
I hope they come out with like those Knicks videos where their fans are talking crazy.
Man. Oh man,
I got a great idea for Karrion Kross, a part of a faction. I think they need to pump the brakes on him. He's got one more from me. I'll give him one more chance. Go back to the drawing board, but you got to get this one right.
They repackaged Lacey Evans like 4 times, so yeah.
Yeah, call Conan or something. We got to do something. Boy, my terrible humor was just creeping on me. Had to stop myself from making an absurd joke. I'm glad you wrote about it. We're here to talk about WWE. This is a company that reincarnates their wrestlers to names like Big Bronson Reed, Badass Braun Breaker. It's been done before. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
You could have called Braun Breaker Rex Steiner, and it would have been money. That's a way better name than. Could you imagine one day going to like CNN and they're like, "We're got an interview here with Braun Breaker." Like what? Bro, Rex Steiner sounds way cooler than that.
But here's the thing, though, real quick about Braun Breaker. 10 seconds. Like this is what WWE does. That ridiculous dog headgear. What are you doing?
What, you talking about Rick Steiner?
Doing? It's so stupid. He looks like Mantar.
There was definitely a threat after Dog.
Come on, bro. Are you serious? You want me to take this guy seriously coming out looking like he's wearing a head that looks like a dog? This is ridiculous.
I hear you. Shout out to Baron Corbin coming out as Ghost Rider, too. I saw a bunch of people didn't understand what the reference was. I have a 7-year-old. I would buy a ticket to WWE or AEW. I would pick WWE, even though I would rather go to AEW.
Yo, Craig, my son likes WWE better too. But you know what? That's why we're parents and we're trying to teach her. I'll sit my son down and explain to him, "Hey, son, listen, man."
Not Joe Jackson style, right? Now I done told you about this.
The birds and the bees. Peer pressure, and AEW is better than WWE.
That's hilarious. Parenting 101 with Sean Hubbard next week. Make sure you bring your notebooks.
That's right.
Bring your syllabus signed. Let's see here. New York versus Vegas WNBA Finals. Let's go. Sucks Candace Parker is injured. That's not good. NYCE says Bronson Reed and Ricochet could be part of the Karrion Kross faction. They need to do something with Ricochet too, I feel. But Conrad, Rex Steiner sounds like a phenomenal idea as well as common sense, but unfortunately, you know what that means.
You know what that means, Quills? Yo, by the way, Quills is right. Rex Steiner sounds awesome, Conrad, but they're not going to do it because they're freaking idiots.
I dug Corbin at No Mercy. You know what ruined Baron Corbin? Him losing Money in the Bank to Jinder Mahal. I don't want to hear that don't hinder Jinder stuff in the chat either. That man ruined so many pushes that I was like, what are we doing? That was when Nakamura should have been champ. I stand on that.
McKinney, you're my dog, no pun intended. Who cares, bro? I appreciate listen. Quills, excuse me. McKinney, you're my guy. And I appreciate the point is it looks like crap. That's the point.
But he's the dog face grandma. Baron Corbin was the lone wolf.
Thank you. That's another thing.
No, time out. It does make sense. It does, because Baron Corbin was the lone wolf. He's saying that he got the lone wolf. I get it now. I get it.
Do you see how long it took you to get there, Conrad?
I know, but
you see how long it took you to get there? It's not an essay question. It's not an essay question, okay? We should be able to understand exactly what's going on. It did look. Thank you, McKinney. I appreciate the heads up. God bless you. The point is, it looked like hot garbage. And Conrad, it took you far too long to figure that out, and I never figured it out. So that's a problem.
Yo, E is so funny. Who got Wolf Mask B cosplay wrestlers?
Come on, bro. And Easy E always gives me a hard time. So you know if Easy agrees with me, you know that something's wrong, bro. That mask is stupid.
Breaker is trash. He looks like Sammy's panda. Come on now.
Let's get this guy out of here. Bro, I don't see what you see in this guy, Conrad. This guy is trash.
I see dollar signs with him.
Yeah, you see dollar signs because WWE are morons. They'd rather put a rocket to that guy's back instead of somebody like Carmelo Hayes.
Now, if you ask me who I'm more of a fan of, I'm picking Carmelo Hayes. That's who I see. I'm actually, you know what? We were talking about NXT No Mercy. I know we're jumping all over the place with this, but
having a good time.
But Carmelo Hayes, I will say this. I think that Trick Williams could be coming for that spot because he's got what they want, the body type, all that. But Carmelo's really good. Like, I hope they don't look past him. Do you know, you get what I'm saying with the fear, Sean? Like, you've been around long enough to know. Hey, I'm 6'4" and I weigh 270 pounds. Oh no. Oh no.
Are you asking me, Conrad, if I think that WWE might botch Carmelo Hayes? Is that the question that you're asking me?
Yes, sir.
I'd be surprised if they don't botch Carmelo Hayes. Let me go on record as saying something, right? Because maybe even you, my good friend, don't understand this thing, okay? Let me break this all the way down. When it comes to World Wrestling Entertainment, I always expect the worst. You want to see Carmelo Hayes ascend to greatness? WWE is going to keep him in NXT. You want to see CM Punk come back and be part of an 8-man War Games? They'll turn him down. You want to see innovative and new matches on Monday Night Raw? Get ready for Judgment Day versus KO 17. WWE, if there's a good idea in place, you know what that means. I don't understand. What is it you're not understanding, my brother? WWE, this is what they do. This is what they do.
We have to put the possibilities out there to make this a good show. But
it's a good show regardless. It's a good show because we tell the truth. If it's a good idea, you know what that means.
Terrell317 has a question for us. Would you rather have Corbin in WWE, Impact, AEW, New Japan, or NWA?
I would rather see Baron Corbin in WWE. I would rather see him in NXT as long as they continue to use him the way they've been using him, because Corbin has never been more entertaining over the last year and a half than he's been in the last couple of months.
Concur. That happy Corbin was trizash.
Yes.
I like Rob's idea here too. Bronson Reed and Odyssey Jones should be the new natural disasters. Could you imagine those brothers just squashing people left and right?
That's actually a good idea, but yeah, you know the rest.
You know the tagline.
Yeah, you know
I like it though. I think that's good.
I love it. I think it's a great idea.
Corbin joins Cross and gets shot out into a cannon into the sun. I'm half watching No Mercy to see Corbin's breakdown. Just show Corbin barbecue and vids from IG. When someone is good, they sit them down, Jocelyn.
Oh, Carmelo. Yeah. Thank you, Jocelyn. Oh, Carmelo. You've had 57 bangers in a row. You know what we're going to do for you now? We're going to have you turn on Trick Williams for no reason. For no reason. And we're going to have you fight him instead of going to WWE, to the main roster. Conrad, see, you anger me. You anger me, Conrad. And the reason you anger me, because you still haven't gotten it through your head. WWE hears what the fans want. And then they do the opposite. That's what they do, my brother. And until you get that through your head, we're going to have the same argument. WWE doesn't give a damn what we want.
I told you why, though, too. We aren't the target audience anymore. Not only that, but this goes by, think of it as a corporation. Who out of your stakeholders has the most influence? Who's giving WWE the most money? Their television deals. Mm-hmm. They don't care what we want. They care what they want. You gonna give me more money? What do you want me to do? Until that dynamic changes, which it probably will over a few years because of streaming and such, but that's still going to be the moneymaker. Mm-hmm. That's still who's going to have to say in the decision. The fans have less say than ever in that company because we got stakeholders. I got Mattel to try to keep happy. What about us? Who cares about you? But without us, there's no show. But I think they take that for granted because look at how loyal people are to WWE.
And one last point. Great point, by the way. I want to acknowledge what you just said. But also, speaking of acknowledgement, didn't we go through this with Brock Lesnar? This whole temporary world championship schedule? Now, I'm not mad at Roman Reigns. How can you be mad at Roman Reigns? If you get a part-time schedule to be world champion, I would take it too. But what do you say? We went through this with Brock Lesnar, and the fans hated it. Hated it. And you're doing the same exact thing. I mean, how dare you, Conrad? And when I'm speaking to Conrad right now, I'm acting as if you're WWE. How dare you put out in a press release that Roman Reigns will be back in October, and right now it's the end of August at the time when the press release was done? How dare you? Right? Who the hell do you think you are? I mean, and I'm being dead serious, bro. It's August, and you're telling me Roman won't be back until October? It's beyond the realm of understanding, bro.
The most over character. That and they're held to that because that's what they wanted to do. I don't know what to say.
It's tough, man. It's tough because I love this sport, bro. I love this sport. And they're making a mockery of it, man. It's like they really don't care. They really don't care. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The Usos were hotter than fish grease after Money in the Bank. And there was only one thing, Conrad, one thing that they could have done to ruin it. And that's what they did.
That's how they line them up. We didn't even get into the fully the Jade Cargill stuff because
they're gonna ruin her.
So you're under. They're gonna ruin her. I think that they cannot ruin her, because if you do, you're gonna hurt your opportunity to get more people from AEW, not just her, but especially from the women's division in AEW. There's got to be some more people that they want to poach.
I'm sorry, I lost focus for a second. She looks good. Jesus Christmas.
Focus.
Yes,
so.
Yes.
What do you think here though for Jade though? Like, you think they're gonna ruin her still no matter what? Like, I think you can't. I feel like it's the same thing with Cody, what I said with him. You cannot ruin this, because if you ruin this, you have nothing. You have to push her.
Was there anything hotter than Shinsuke coming out of NXT?
At that time, I thought no. Was
there anything hotter than Bobby Roode coming out of NXT?
At that time, no.
Was there anything hotter than the FTR coming up after winning the NXT tag belts?
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah. So, for me, it's pretty obvious why I'm saying that. And I could be wrong. But, I mean, what blueprint do I have to go by other than what I've seen 1,001 times?
Terrell says if WWE ruins Jade, forget it. I mean, it could happen. I was looking at them pics like Dr. Umar.
You know what's bad though? Easy. I don't know who that is. Help me out, Conrad.
Dr. Umar. So have you ever seen the videos on like Instagram stuff where the dude will be like, "I beg your pardon," and he's looking at people?
All right, it's because I didn't know. Okay, I got you.
Kyra, you always knock it out of the park when it comes to the corporate side of things, because the territories was about what the fans wanted. After that, it became about shareholders. It's just different now. It's not the same. And I'm just giving you like corporate 101. Like, I'm not even getting into the deep side of it. I'm just letting you know that. How do you even ruin Jade? It's not possible.
Okay. It's not possible. Okay.
Cray, they definitely ain't doing that. He done messed up. He's blacklisted. They're not giving him nothing. As a woman, what her husband did was awesome. Take a hint, fellas. Yeah. Listen, Tony Khan in the media scrum yesterday said he tried to sign Jade. He said Jade came to him with a number. He said, I got close to it. She came back and said, they said this. He said, I'll go above the number you wanted. And she still took their offer. More to it than what we think.
You know what? When you grow up a wrestling fan, Conrad, your dream is to go to WWE. I mean, I believe that Cargill's an 80s or 90s baby. So when you grow up in that time, you want to be a WWE superstar. So I'm sure they made her an offer that she couldn't refuse. Let me go on the record with you, my brother. I hope I'm wrong. I hope she main events 2 or 3 WrestleManias. I hope she wins about 10 world championships. And I hope she has a wonderful career. I really do.
Yeah, because this isn't the same. This can't be the same WWE that you had Sasha Banks and Naomi in. You cannot do that stuff again. Trust me. Quill says, I'm surprised that WWE actually got this one right by letting Jay keep her name. It only makes sense. Any other name other than hers will not hit nowhere near as hard.
Agreed.
Same thing with Cody.
They did get that part right. I agree.
Only if Charlotte says, I am the line to Jade. Oh, no. You can't have that.
Oh, by the way, once again, I want you to read BJ's comment, but once again, Charlotte Flair jumps line again. Mm-hmm. Just another example of WWE storyline. Charlotte out of nowhere gets another title shot. Awesome.
BJ brings up it's the Codyverse being built on WWE. Jade said Cody was one of the people that influenced her. And she mentioned the leadership thing too, which I was like, "Ooh, Bruce, Paul." She didn't say Gomez, but she mentioned a lot of other people, and I was like, "Wow, interesting." How is Tony going to react if Cody ever did want to come back to AEW though? Now, like, what are you doing to me? You know what I mean? Like, they're playing it off like they're so cool with each other, but how is this happening then?
But I think Tony will take him back just off the strength of like, how can you not? You know what I'm saying? There'd be some like they have a conversation like, you screwed me, right? But of course I'm going to take you back.
Yeah, but it's like being able to put the pie piece you cut out and put it back in to fix it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It fits because he's part of the whole elite and how they started things, but I don't know. Jocelyn says, I don't want TKO to erase Sasha and Naomi from history with Jade. I hope not.
Yeah, that's a fact. And also, let's not go the status quo, by the way, of, and I am going to get a little political on this one. Let's not go the status quo of we have to put Jade versus Bianca. I mean, it'll be a great match, but do we have to? I mean, let's not take the two. Let's call a spade a spade. These two African queens who are amazing. We have to put them up against each other. Like, Jade should be taking down Charlotte, plain and simple. That's how I look at it.
I think you need to put people on certain sides of. This is going to sound crazy to say because it wasn't that long ago where it felt like it was an old thing. You got the 4 horsewomen. They're the now, but I think we're starting to look at who's after them. You got Rhea. I personally would like to see Shayna in there, but I don't think they see it that way. You're going to get Jade. You're going to get Tiffany Stratton. Right. You're going to get a bunch of people in there. So the ideas are there.
You have the ingredients for something special. Leezy has talked about it. Quills has talked about it like religiously. Guy Will Gamble's talked about it. Even McKinney, I think, has talked about it. BJ's talked about it. The Hurt Business. They should be together. They should be together. In the Hurt Business.
Bianca was included in that. I know I didn't say her name.
No, I know you didn't, but I know what you meant. They should be together, bro. Like the Prophets, Lashley, Jade, and Bianca. Like, I mean, I know we joke around. That sounds like a good idea. You know what that means, but good Lord, man! Like, it's like right there.
As your tag team. Imagine them as your tag team champions.
Come on now, but they're not going to do it, Conrad. And it's so sad. It's right there on a silver platter for you, bro.
Listen, at this point, we're going to have to do the wait and see. We got a pay-per-view, I think, next week to discuss. I think
Fastlane is on Sunday.
Saturday, right?
Saturday, excuse me. Yep.
I hope. Sunday pay-per-views are coming back for them, I believe, in my heart, too. But
yeah.
We'll see. But we'll be here to talk about Fastlane next week. Hopefully we get some super matchups that we're not prepared for. We got Monday Night Raw starting here in 10 minutes. I'm glad that you guys all rocked with us. Do us a favor. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to myself and Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. You see our ads in here. You guys show us some love and support. If you're listening on the audio version, this would be the perfect time for you to think of a quick review for us. Put it up on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. Make sure you guys do that for us. Go over to Sean's channel. Check out our boxing preview. Even if you already know the results to the event, I think we put out some good content there. Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Sean does his specials on there as well. Check him out. We're doing good things over here, man. Yeah. I'm happy. I love what we're doing, and we're rocking this good thing, man.
Yes, 100%. I mean, there's no question about it. Conrad has spearheaded this thing, and I'm just really happy to be a part of it. You guys in the chat make it worthwhile. I appreciate you guys so much. Conrad, you already know what it is. It's just a blessing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I get real fired up about these subjects, but, you know, we get fired up because we're passionate about this stuff. We love this sport. And we're so happy that you guys rock with us each and every Monday night. So make sure you get back with us next week. Next Monday, we'll be right back here. Same bat time, same bat channel. And we're really fired up about it. So the one and only Conrad Cushman, my name is Sean Hubbard. Make sure you subscribe right now to EPW Show. Make sure you subscribe to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. We will see you next Monday. God bless. And remember always, evil never, ever, ever, ever prevails. God bless you.